old country-like music, old-fashioned Lefty Frizzell music, Hank Williams music, old rinky-tink.
Tell us about those spiritual things you did.
Well, we got into the spiritual perspective with the Indian sweat lodges and the peace pipes and the peyote and the mushrooms. I got the mushrooms from some Azteca. He's collected the Lord. He's a big Azteca chief. He lives in the roots and herbs of life, man. He's a mighty warrior, man. He's a big person in the underworld. I live in the underworld, man, you know, and there's a lot of characters in the underworld that would be fantasy to you, but they are really real on other levels, you know. Like you go out in the desert and you get into the mushrooms or the peyote or the Sundance. The Sundance is another place that the music comes from. Are you aware of the Sundance? I think you are. You should be. You made a movie about it. The guy called Horse, I think the name of the movie. Well, there's a reality in that Sundance that brings out all the music in you. You know, in other words, it brings out the cross. It brings out all the suffering. It brings out all the majesty in one's soul.
So you and girls and playing music and doing all the spiritual things. So what about things like the process? You know,
yeah. I was in prison when Dianetics first started. Yeah, 1950. We fought the establishment. The black Muslims were coming in with the Koran on the dark side of the moon, and the Islamic arm of the church and the Masonry. I don't know how to put the Masons involved in that. I don't want to get tripped up with anyone else on any other level. But he come up with Dianetics 1950. So a lot of the guys was interested in studying the way to process the mind, how to clear your mind from past confusion, how to resurrect the soul and be reborn within yourself. So that's where Scientology started, and then they started selling it, and then it got to be the process. And then the church of the last day, the last judgment, I sent some people to England. I couldn't go myself, but I sent some people there to do some certain things to make an effect, to cause an awakening of an awareness in that. No, Bruce was just one person that went in that direction. There were some other people riding motorcycles that was doing some other things, you know. No, I think if you go over them stones, you know where you got these big pile of stones over there? I think you see this mark on my forehead? Well, they got this mark over there and 2 or 3 of the stones. There were some other things doing with some stones and some reasons for. You know how the occult is. You get involved in all kinds of under darkness things that are running under nooses, that are running through just, I don't know, you know. It would take too long to explain it all, man. But yeah, you're right.
So you're doing your Scientology, you've got stuff in the process, some people say you're Satanist,
whatever that means. You know, God is the devil, I mean, the clever devil, or whatever, you know. It opens up to wherever you go, whatever you're going to use, where are we going to survive, how's it going to go? You say, oh, I want to be all these individuals, and I want to believe all these things, but then the wind blows in another direction, and you say, whoa, that hurts too much. I got to change my mind about something, you know, because, like, when it comes down, we go down in the basement, and you're laying up on the rack, you're going to do whatever the king tells you to do. It's that simple, man, you know. Huh? Oh, well, I don't know. That's, you know, Satanist, what is that? I mean, Mickey Mouse. I mean, they got guys that would play acting that for the public. What is a Satanist? You get a dog and you throw him with the children and you kill the children because there's too many children and you're 50 million people over, and if you don't destroy at least 500 million people, you're all going to die of neglect because there's nobody there but the graves of somebody that did have honor at one time but then died because you know, and who's left over? We're all left over the edge of where we're going. Oh no, I am not. You know, no, I'm too stupid for any of that. You know.
Well, look, you've got pretty good life going on, and the girls and the music and the spiritual thing. So I guess the question is, what went wrong?
Something go wrong?
Yeah, well, what was...
What? What happened?
You know what I mean.
Star, I got the star band back there. Ain't nothing wrong. Everything's just right on, man. I thought it was. We got a $2 million, $200 million establishment here. We're trying to work into the CC camp. If we get them CC camps going, we rejuvenate this water.
Okay. We'll come to that later. We'll come to that. Well, what did the people do?
Kids. Little kids, yeah, they were little kids. I want to hold your hand, you know, yeah, they still want to hold my hand, you know, so they ain't nothing changed. They get older, we get older, you know, I mean, but they're just kids as far as I'm concerned. McCartney, or whatever his name is, don't know what he's doing. He's up there making music with people that's creating babies all across the country that he's the father of all kinds of things that he doesn't even have the brains to realize, you know. You don't lay with that snake, or the snake is going to eat you sooner or later, you know. Then you look down the street and you wonder what... You wonder why your children are all wondering, you know, it's all kinds of different ways and things of doing all kinds of stuff. Huh? Helter Skelter was their song. They wrote it. You know, I didn't have no particular meaning to me. The district attorney picked up on that and made it into his trip, you know. Well, you got to realize the convict's mind. 1944, music's going, well, you got a job, people are walking on that level, and they're saying, yeah, we're going to, and you get locked up, you're in the vacuum. You get back out in 1950, they're saying, they tried to tell us we're too young, and they're walking a little faster, and then you get locked back up, and it stops again. You get out in 59, the music on stop, set, stop, lift, on set, stop, roll, stay long, battle, and you say, wow, man, these people are really, you know, and then you get locked back up, and everything stops. You get back out in 67, and you go over to see the Grateful Dead, and they're, come shooting, come around, let's go, hold it, catch the back, I'm kicking big on, hold it, big and roll, like a battle, like a man, your mind's going to fit in the miles an hour, man. I'm saying, ooh, you know, that's what I call confusion. That's helter skelter, you know. It just means confusion. That's an English word. It's, you know, I bet. And then when the Beatles come up with it, I mean, that was their song. They were playing to those teeny boppers. Son, I'm not a teeny bopper. I like their music. Their music was okay, but my music is, I'll tell you where my music goes. It goes, riff. Royal Air Force. Don't sit on the apple tree with anyone else but me. I mean, that's where I'm at, you know. In other words, like, I'm still in the bagpipe, you know. I haven't lost the perspective to that, you know.
So, when Mr. DeRozan says you're getting messages from Elvis Skelton about album that isn't right?
Come on, man. The music gives everyone messages. That's what music does. I mean, how do I have to appear like I'm some kind of maniac because I can hear something that the music says? You know, when the music said song, well, over the rainbow, you know, in other words, I'm still there over the rainbow. And what's that? Kate Smith came out with that, there'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover. I'm still in Dover. I mean, I haven't,
that's what I mean. What went wrong?
I don't think anything went wrong. Huh?
You heard messages from people, and you sent the kids out to go and kill people.
Oh, no, that was good.
Okay, that's trying to hack this in the garbage about all the murders and stuff.
Okay.
We're trying to straight. We watched you. We're all there. And he said, you understand that can be a problem?
Sure.
Okay, well, it's trying to explain. He said,
okay.
You killed no one.
Okay.
Shall we stand away, gentlemen? I thought this was